What's up, Bio Builders? Welcome back to another Speed Build episode. For those of you who are relatively new to this series, let me give you a quick breakdown of what happens around here. So at the beginning of each episode, I select at random one of these suggestions for building a mock. And within the span of about half an hour, I attempt to build the best model I can based off of that suggestion. Currently, I have 4 in the bucket and 3 new ones that I will be adding to it at the end of this video. So, without further ado, let's open the bucket up and see what we end up getting in here. Let's get this one. See what this comes out to be. Oops. Oh boy, okay. I was really hoping this wouldn't be the case, but here we go. Owl Animorph. This was suggested by a really good friend of mine named Blazer. For those of you who are not familiar with the Animorph series that I have going on, this Animorph concept was actually created by Blazer. And so basically what an Animorph is, it's what's an easy way to describe this? A humanoid being who has the ability to transform into his animal counterpart. So in this instance, it's going to be an owl, and yeah, the tricky thing about this is that this is going to have to end up being 2 models. One being the humanoid form, and the second being the owl or the animal counterpart. So, what I'm going to have to do for this one, so this is technically 2 models, not just 1, I'm going to have to give myself double the time in order to complete this. Either that or just split them up into 2 different sections. So, let's get right to it then. Alright, wish me luck, guys. Oh boy, so that's all done. I managed to clock it in at about 51 minutes, approximately. So let me go over the models in detail here, and I'll end this video. So I wanted to start with the owl part of the figure first, and I focused on the head primarily, so I could get the big beady-eyed look of the owl. I'm pretty happy with the way the head turned out. There's some colors I'd want to change here, specifically the gray eyes. I want to change that to a different color if possible. I'll have to look through my Lego pieces to see if I can find any others. I think the dark red beak works okay with this model. I might want to change that. But most critical thing I have to say about the owl model is that it looks a little thin to me. I was hoping to go for something a little shorter and stockier, like an owl is supposed to look, but it ended up looking more lean and thin, like a crane of some sort. But anyways, ignoring that, I think it turned out okay. Got some of the feathery gold pieces at work again, and I got the short stubby legs as well. Not really much to say on the back right here, just some basic armor plating with the Paraka foot and then the Bionicle armor on the front. But that's the way the owl model turned out. Let me set him back over here. Then I managed to start on the humanoid side of him. I haven't given him a name as of yet, but I wanted to give him kind of an old wise man look about him. That's why I have these green vine pieces kind of hanging down to act as kind of a beard for him. Gave him the old wanderer's cloak as well. Gave him this nice big broadsword for him to wield about. And I constructed this cane for him as well to help him maneuver around with his old stature. But yeah, nothing too impressive about him. He does have a little bit of a bird tail going on in the back here. But overall, I was trying to make him look as much like his owl counterpart as I could, just based off of that. So that should give you an idea of what was running through my head at the time. And off to the right here, you'll notice my Rakshi revamp that I did on my last speed build. I do plan on doing a revamp review of him, although quite frankly I think it's a little unnecessary since it's technically already a revamp of a Rakshi. But anyways, moving on. Over on the left here, I have these 3 new suggestions as promised. I'll flip through them real quick and then add them to the bucket. So I have a mechanical animal. This was suggested by Bionic Fire. And he wasn't too specific on what kind of mechanical animal. He just stated that it had to have some machine-ish looks about it, I suppose. So he's leaving the actual animal up to me. I mean, he gave examples like a dragon, bear, or etc., something like that. But anyways, that's one more suggestion added to the bucket. Suggestion number 2 is a spellcaster suggested by H.S. Ricodiora. He did put on some restrictions or rules and said no conventional weaponry, so no swords or spears or lances, stuff like that. And it cannot be an elementalist or element bender. Like basically it can't be a Toa who can wield fire, water, or whatever. It has to be a spellcaster themed. Now I didn't put it down in here, but he did suggest that I could make like a warlock of some sort, a magician trickster, but that should give you an idea of what he's suggesting there. And then last suggestion I'm going to add to the bucket is a Rudaka revamp. The guy didn't really say much, but his name is Nathan Curry, and I mean, the whole suggestion pretty much sums itself up. It's a Rudaka revamp. It's the Rudaka model just revamped somehow. So I thought that was an interesting suggestion. I did do a Rakshi revamp after all, so why not add another revamp to the bucket? So there you go. So that makes for a total of 6, I believe. 6 suggestions for the next speed build episode. Get that closed up. Well, that pretty much wraps up this speed build episode. I hope you enjoyed the Owl Animorph figures that I built, and do look forward to building that Rakshi revamp or revamp review of the Rakshi revamp. I'll figure out how to title the video later. I'm gonna go get some rest right now. You guys have a wonderful rest of the week. This is Makuta Alvarez signing out.